You want attendance sheet or no need?
I will download the attendance sheet.
Oh, you're done. Okay.
Yes, Dr. Nitin.
Yeah, Dr. Hilal, kindly take my attendance. I am present.
Attendance is important.
Recorded. This is recorded. So students, today we have 2 lectures. Each lecture is of 20 to 25 minutes. First
Okay.
lecture will be by Dr. Hilal. It is about abstract and report writing skills. And the second part of today's presentation, it will be given by me. My name is Dr. Ashraf. And I will talk about reference management softwares, how to use management software for the references. So we will start with Dr. Hilal. I think we can start now.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed, for the introduction. Well, I will start with my presentation around 20 minutes. That's about the abstracts and the report writing skills for the final year projects. I think all the students involved, fourth year students for final year projects. So, introduction about the abstracts and the final year projects report writings. I think you know the abstracts is very important part of the final year projects because the abstracts will reflect the whole elements of the project, starting from the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and to chapter 5, which is conclusion. So I believe all the chapters should be consequence in order to write the abstracts. So sometimes the FYP, the abstract writing, could be written in a simplified manner, step by step. It means we cannot write abstracts without writing the literature review, methodology, result, and so on. So hopefully everybody will be benefit from this in the writing and in the report. So step 1 is the selecting the topics. Selecting the topics is very important issue. Without selecting topics, we cannot write or identify the element of the report, whether it is simulation, experimental, implementation. So the topics title or the final year project title will reflect what is inside. So usually student know the potential supervisor, this can be with the help of him, how to use the data or the problem related to these topics. So the potential topics can you get either from the supervisors or from the sources you will get, Google, internet, papers, ResearchGate, university database, and so on. So to ensure that you will get the best research topics and the potential topics, you have to run and potential research contacts with all these elements, the area, the problems, and the focusing on the titles. So here, if you don't have any topics or research, don't worry, your potential supervisor, of course, will guide you and they will help you in the selection of the appropriate problems. So you will have the initial expectation of who will conduct of these results for the rest of the final year projects. So each supervisor have their own specialty preferences in taking a topic or solving a problem. Example, some supervisor use lab, some supervisor use the questionnaires, some supervisor they use only simulation, some supervisor they use numerical ways. So all this will reflect the way of the topics. So if implementation means the titles or the topics should be something implement and design. If we relate to an analytical method, so the title or the topic will be something related to analytical method. So here, step 2, you will understand the research. The core of the research should be understanding step by step. Okay, so here you will giving a topics or problem to be solved. So the research here, you will get two major undertakings. First, the laboratory analysis. Most we need physical support. And number 2 is the social science analysis, also needs support. So here you can see the selection of the topics. If you choose the topics, so for our engineer, we mostly use this one. For social science, they use this one, questionnaire, document analysis. For engineering science, they use the side, which is the laboratory fields. Whether the main operation, they use experiments, they use testing, they need to have a physical materials, a laboratory in the office or not. And then the media will be conducting the research at the time, at the place, or conducting at the search and time and physical need to have and handle the materials. So here we can classify into media, main operation, solved, and the selection. So all these blocks are connected together in order to achieve the topic or the problem to be solved. So here the topics is the same as what we are trying to solve. So here, why do you need so that's why you need to know your supervisor, because the supervisor, the selection of the supervisor is very important in order to identify all these elements, whether it has lab or have experimental or have research and so on. So because she expects in one of the two research operations, some of them or both, covering your and supervisor expectation will generally present a good final year output. If you and your supervisor are the same, we have the same line, okay, then at the output, you will get good final year projects outcome in terms of the results, analysis, finding, abstract writing, conclusions, and so on. Example, what inside the research, which is a very important issue. So inside the research here, there is example, I give a simple example. I have lost my car key. Okay, so here is a problem. How we are going to identify or to analyze this one? Okay, so here the problem, I lost the key. This is the problem statement. The question is, did anyone saw my car key? Where is my place, the key? The objective of the research, so you can see here, the objective is basically based on the problem. To ask everyone about my car key or to remember and find my car key. The method we use here, because the inside the research, it has a method or methodology. Should asking everyone in the house and remembering and finding the key at the related last place. So here is the method we use. Either we ask or we do searching by the last time we lost the key. And at the end, if you identify the methods, then easily we can do the analysis. Analysis, it's come after the method. So here is the sequence is very important. Questions, objective, method, analysis. So here there are three people in the house. Personally ask each one of them to tabulate the response on the three places to be checked at place and tables and find. Finally, either you get the key or no. Either no one know about the key, or you find inside a drawer or someone else or inside the bed. So these are the research sequences, starting from identifying the problem statement, then identifying the questions, what is inside the problem to be solved, and then identifying the objectives and the method we use, we call methodology, and then analysis, and then finally results. So here the questions, sometimes they like the literature review. What is the previous method or previous author they do in this research? Another example, students dislike to work at the construction site. Usually civil engineer, some of course, not all, they dislike to work at the construction sites. So how we are going to approach this example? So this example can also, we can divide it, means this is title. This is the research title, means we have to convert this one into the problem, questions, objective, method, analysis, and result. So here you can see the student dislike work at the construction sites. Here we can find also the objective to identify whether a student dislike working at construction site, to identify the reasons, to provide the solution of the student dislike. The method used, either we use a questionnaire survey asking them whether they really dislike to work on the construction site, or we make an interview, or we make interview some of the expert on the construction site. The analysis here, in order to analyze these topics, we need to analyze the frequency of how many of them dislike, or we make a table to summarize the finding or why they are really dislike, or we can tabulate the findings on how the circumstances is issued. Finally, the results, we can come out with results identifying the number of the dislike versus dislikes, or list the reason of the dislikes for those on the construction side, or list the method to some curatives the issues. So, well, there are the similarity of solving everyday problems and finally project, both requiring the basic of the research process. So the final year projects is officially you need to document those research. A formal type of the reporting need to be in place, and this will go for the next step. So step 4, with the generic formatting of the final year project. After you collecting all these elements, objective, problem statement, and the result funding, now we can find the format of the final year projects. The format will be chapter 1, which is include the brief introduction, problem highlight, and the aim objectives. Chapter 2 is the literature review. What is the review and the discuss on the research keywords. Chapter 3 is the method used. What are methods used to solve this problem? Chapter 4 is the results and analysis. Chapter 5 is the conclusions. So here are conclusions are related with all these elements. By the way, if all these findings are ready, if chapter 1 is complete, chapter 2 is complete, chapter 3 is complete, 4, now we can write the abstracts. So abstracts is the combination of all these elements. Means we cannot write abstracts if we don't have chapter 1, or if we don't have chapter 2, or if we don't have chapter 3. That's why abstracts must be written at the end of completing all these elements. We cannot write abstracts of the final year projects in the beginning unless we have all these findings from chapter 1 to chapter 5. Then we can write the abstracts. Usually the abstracts is reflect the conclusions, but conclusion deals with numbers, percentage. Abstracts can be generally. So here I make it as a WIR, which is what inside research. and GFF, generic format of the final year project. So you can see here the WIR is the problem statement, objective until the results. And generic format presenting all this one, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, until chapter 4. So the first row representing WIR, which is what is inside the research, and GFF representing the final year project writing format, which is chapter 1 until chapter 9. So you can see here, WIR and GFF is related to each other. So the first WIR means problem, question, objective is related to chapter 1, whereas this one is related to chapter 3. And this one is related to chapter 4. Chapter 2 is just literature review. You can see this one is alone, it's not related to WR or GFF because this literature review we can get from others. So chapter 2 is combined, is one of the cover of those. Means chapter 2, even it is not related, but the method used in chapter 2 should be presented in the analysis when comparing the results of the other methods. Means what are other people have been done in using same methodology used. So this should be addressed in the literature review. So here we give an example. Consider the previous example. Now makes your research dislike to work. Student dislike to work now we make it dislike to work. So here we have two keywords, student and the construction site. So these keywords will identify what is going for the chapter details. For example, we can write chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 is just problem and objective. Chapter 2, which is here, we can write, since we have two keywords, so the first keyword is related to construction, so we can write sub-chapter, chapter 2.11, construction overview, construction site, and working outside construction site. Chapter 2.2 is related to student, construction student, employability of the construction student, issue with the construction student. So this, the keyword is reflects the chapter 2 and the sub-chapters. This is the chapters, and this one is the chapters. In chapter 3, we are searching for the methods used to solving, we call the methodology. What are methods you use? You use, for example, numerical method, you use chemical method, you use electrical method, Kirchhoff example, and so on. Chapter 4, what are the findings of the results? And finally, what is the generic conclusion based on the finding you find in chapter 4? So here, well, you know that the keywords can be referred by the reference paper or even in the papers. There are a number of the database is useful to get this information. For example, you can go to Google Scholar, Scopus, Web of Science, ResearchGate, etc. All these one you can find the references or even the paper can be used to complete the chapter elements. Okay, so you may use SLR or MLT techniques or other techniques that can assist you in finding all the research key or the element, literature review or multi-layered analysis. Now, if you example, what to do in writing chapter 2. So in chapter 2, remember when you write, you should have 6 W. What, why, where, who, when, which. And must have one how. Identifying all this, what you have to find, why you use this method, where this method exists, and how and when and which. All these element question should be identified by the chapter 2. So if we read chapter 2 as a supervisor or as a student, it should get all these answers: what, why, where, how, when, and which method you use, and one how. So here we can see that you can make tables to identify the output finding of the results, okay? Either problem finding, what is the objective, what is the method, what is the analysis, and what is the finding. Or you can use a construction side in terms of what, how, where, who, when, and which. So this as a P keywords, this as an overview. As a per keywords, you will going per details for each one. For example, this author for this paper, what he get, why, where, how, and when, and which. Example, this one 2019, 2022, and so on. So here, be aware that use your own sentence, rephrase, make new summary writings. Okay, be aware that you use a number of software to check plagiarism, especially chapter 2, because most chapter 2 is copy-paste from previous research, but you can manipulate or change, and you can use Turnitin, grammar, and so on. So to maintain consistency of writing report, select a group or leaders who may act as the editor for the final writing up. Final writing up is also very important because you have to be consequence for all these elements. So it might be asked, where is the abstracts? So the abstracts is that it comes at the end of the research. So I make here, so when all these elements, WRI ready, problem, questions, objective, methods used, analysis, results, conclusion, then the abstracts should comprise all these elements. Usually we write the final review project abstracts either 1 page, maximum 1 page, or half page. It cannot be 2 page, 3 page. Abstracts should be very specific, very short. They give all these elements in one statement. So when I read the abstracts, that's why it has two sides. You can see the whole. When I read abstract, it can reflect the problem statement. It can reflect the objective. It can reflect the method we use. It can reflect the analysis. It can reflect the conclusions, the summary. How much improvement you have done, how much achievement you have done, what is the, in terms of cost, in terms of analytical improvement, in terms of quantity, in terms of analytical improvement, percentage, any way you did, this should be reflected in the abstracts. So finally, all these elements we discuss, the objective, analysis, finding, and secondly, you will get the final objective, and this could be written as the conclusions. And then you will see why, WIR, and the problem statement, objective, methodology, analysis, all these should be covered in order to write the objective. At the end, you will happy to get the FYP is completed. So this is the end of my research. So if anyone have any questions, so I am happy to be answer your questions.
Yes, students, any question? If you have anything to discuss, you can ask. So Dr. Hilal has given a very good presentation about how to write an abstract and what is the format of final year project report. So it will be helpful. So if you have any question, you want to discuss anything, please let us know. Any student? Ms. Hajar?
So
Mr.
attendance is
Hilal?
13.
Yes. Yes, students. Mr. Ahmed? Mr. Ahmed? Mr. Isa?
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine,
How are you,
Alhamdulillah.
Abu Tamim?
حياك الله دكتور. How are you? Fine.
Fine, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Already you are explained for the presentation. It's good news.
Okay, welcome.
And inshallah, because you are my you are our you are sorry, so you are our supervisor for the research. Inshallah, will
Yeah.
Okay, students, if there is another questions, thank you very much, Dr. Hilal, for your presentation.
Welcome, doctor. Thank you very much. I am ready. If anyone come to my office, you are welcome. For all students.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Stop sharing. Students, don't leave. We have another presentation. Students, don't leave. Okay, students, so second part of this today lecture, it is about referencing software. So I would like to share the presentation. It's not a presentation, but it will be. So this is about referencing software, how to use reference management software. So there are different softwares which are available. Just a minute. It can be used for reference management. So I think I don't need to repeat the same things again and again. So Dr. Hilal has already explained all these steps about the literature review. You need to start with your topic. Okay, after deciding about the topic, you need to decide about what we say about the keywords. Once you have the keywords, you can use those keywords to find the literature review. So after finding the literature review, you have to put your literature review in the chapter 2. So how can you put in chapter 2? This is very important. There are different softwares available which can be used for reference management. You can see here in this slide, in this page. One of them is Zotero, and the other one is Mendeley and Node. So there are different softwares which can be used for reference management. So I will talk about mainly Mendeley software. Okay. How can you use this software? First, you need to install this software. So I can say you have to install either you can install Mendeley Reference Manager or desktop, or you can install directly Mendeley desktop. Okay, so this is one step that you have to do. And in the second step, you have to install Mendeley Web Importer, because sometimes you may like to import some of the references from the Google Chrome or from any other what we say browser, okay, into Mendeley desktop. And third thing, because you are going to choose you're going to write your report in MS Word, so we also need to install the plugin for the Microsoft Word. So these are the three steps that you have to do. First step, install the software, Mendeley Reference Manager, or you can install Mendeley desktop. And second step, you need to install Mendeley Web Importer, and in the third step, you need to install plugin for Microsoft Word. So once you have all these three packages in your computer, and after that you can use the Mendeley. So this is the Mendeley Reference Manager. You can see here in this picture. Students, can you hear me? Are you with me, students?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay. Can you see the presentation? Can you see the Mendeley Reference Manager? Can you see?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So this is, you can see here, this is Mendeley Reference Manager. So we need to import all the references to this this manager. How can you do? There are different ways. One of them, either if you have the PDF file, you can export from here. You can add the PDF file here. You see, add references. In add references, you see import files, import folders, import library. If you have in different format like EndNote, like wipe text, so you can import the references directly from that format into reference into Mendeley Reference Manager. Similarly, you can add the references by individual file. So this is the reference manager that you can see here. I have added many references for my own research papers. Then if you go to the Google Chrome, so you see here, you need to type the keyword of your topic. Let's suppose I would like, if I type a keyword, extended sulfur asphalt. Okay, so I need a paper, I need a research papers, I need a literature review related to extended sulfur asphalt. So I would like to cite some of the research papers. I would like to add some of the research papers in reference manager software. So how can I do that? I will open the research papers. You see here some of the research papers you cannot access. It means you cannot download the PDF file. We need to purchase. Some of the universities, they have the access. Like some of the universities, they have subscription of the publishers or for some specific journals. So in those cases, we can download the research publication. Or some cases, some journals, they publish open access. So if journals publish open access, it means we can download those publication easily. But some journals, they have hybrid model, they don't publish open access. It means we need to purchase those papers. But still, if you look at the abstract, if you look at the abstract, you can find something from the abstract. You can get an idea about the problem statement. You can get an idea about the experimental setup. You can get an idea about the testing that they have used in this research. Similarly, you can get some idea about the results. So you see here in the abstract, even we can look at the, if we look at the abstract, we can find some of the important results from here. So reading the results, we need to cite. We need to we need to put these results in our literature review chapter. So simply you need to write, as Dr. Hilal explained, you have to write whatever you take from other publications, from research papers, from research reports. You have to write all those things in your own words. So I just copied for your understanding. Okay, you can write this one in our own our own words. Like here we can say optimum binder content has no impact on long-term cracking resistance. Okay, so this is one of the finding, or we say one of the results that is reported by this research. So we have to write in our own words. Now, when I took something from any research report or from any research publication, so I need to put the reference. I need to give the reference for that. So what I will do, I will go to Google Chrome. Okay, you see here in Google Chrome, what is this? This one is Mendeley Web Importer. Okay, as I told you, you need to install three things. One of them is Mendeley Web Importer. Now, after opening any research paper, you need to click this one. Okay, this is an extension for Google Chrome or for Mendeley. So this is Mendeley Web Importer. So we will click this one. So if you want to use Mendeley Reference Manager, you need to make your account. Okay, using any email ID, you can make your account. Just 1 minute, so it will work. Okay, you see here I have signed in Mendeley using my own account. So I need to click. Okay, so I need to click on this publication, which one I want to import into reference manager software. So after selecting, we will add. Okay, so you see here it is my library. If there are different folders within my library, I can select those folders. You can see here there are some folders I have made earlier. So I will just click on add. So this reference will be added to my library. You see here. So you will find a green tick with the reference. Okay, it means this reference is added in the reference manager software. Now we will go back, okay, to the reference manager software. So we have to refresh. We have to refresh. Okay. So after adding from the Google Chrome, we have to refresh it. Okay. We have to synchronize it. So when you synchronize it, the reference, it will appear at the top. Okay. The reference, it will appear at the top. You can see here. Okay. This reference is I added just now. Now after adding this reference, I will go to Word file where I have put the text. I have taken this text from this paper. Then I have written the same text in my own words. Okay, when you write the same thing in your own words, keep in your mind the meaning should not be changed. Okay. So now I want to put the reference here. How can I put the reference here? Okay, you see here I have already opened this one. Just a minute. You see here, you need to click on references. You need to go for Mendeley site. You need to go for Mendeley site. Okay. So I can look for references. So I can look for reference for the relevant reference here. Okay. I can go to here. Which one it is? Muhammad Anik. I can look for by author, by name of the authors. So it would be should be okay this time. Okay, this one you see here, I just need to synchronize here again. I have to refresh. Okay, so you can see here I can find this reference at the top. Okay, now I want to cite this reference here. Okay, so I will select this one. Okay, I will select this one, insert this citation, insert this citation. You see here this citation is inserted here at this location. Okay, so similarly, if I take another reference, if I go another publication, okay, let's suppose I want to import this publication. So again, I will open the publication, okay, and I will go to here reference importer. Okay, then I will select the publication. After that, I will add that publication in the reference manager software. Okay, you can see here it is adding in. So if there is a PDF file, if the PDF file is available, so that PDF file will also be uploaded, will also be added in the reference manager. So if there is no PDF file, it will not be added. Like in this case, you see here, this is open access paper, so we can download, view PDF, or we can download the PDF file for this publication. So in some cases we can download, in some cases we cannot download. So you can see here I added this reference in the reference manager. I will go back to the reference manager, then I can refresh this one here. Okay, you see here this new reference is added here. Okay, so new reference is added in the reference manager. Now I want to write something from this research publication. Like I have this finding. Okay, so I will take this finding. Don't copy paste, as Dr. Hilal told. Don't copy paste, because at the end of your project we are going to check your report for plagiarism. Okay, so let's suppose you need to write the same thing. So with increase in sulfur content, it depicts that there is a high rotting resistance. Okay, so I put the same thing but in my own words. Okay, now I need to put the reference for this. So first I should synchronize this one. Okay, so I need to put this reference, so I will say insert this citation. You can see here I inserted the citation here. So this is something about that you can use for your final year project. Now, what is the benefit of this? So once you import all the references in reference manager software, because sometimes we need to cite the same research paper many times in the same report. Okay, maybe you need to cite one publication in your introduction chapter, you need to cite the same publication in literature review, and maybe in your results section, results chapter. So you can use this you can cite the reference using easily. Okay, similarly, sometimes we need to change the reference style. We need to change the reference style, so we can change it easily. Okay, so this, you see here all references are added. Just a minute. Okay, from here we can change the citation style, because there are different journals, they have different citation style, they have different requirements. So if you go back here, if you go to here, we can change the citation style. Okay, you can find the citation style here. You can see here IEEE. If you select IEEE, so the references will be updated according to IEEE. You see here 1 and 2. Okay, if you do it manually, so it will take a lot of time. It will take a lot of time to change the references according to different style. Like here, I will select Nature or Vancouver, so it will be updated accordingly. Okay, so if I select a different style, let's suppose upper, then update style, you can see here. So with one click, you can change the style of the reference. So this is the advantage of this reference manager software. Yes, students, any question? Students, any question? Students, any question? Any student? If I have finished almost. I have finished almost. If you have any question about reference manager, how to use Mendeley, so you can use any other package. Maybe you can use EndNote or Sature. So it depends on you. The students, Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Isa. Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Isa. Any question?
No, doctor. Thank you. No, doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Any other students? Any other students? Any question? Students, no question?
No, thank you, doctor.
Okay. So if there is no question, thank you very much for joining this lecture session. Please, also after the vacation, after national holidays, we have more lectures. So I request you, you should tell to your, group mate or your friends, so that they can also join. So it will be beneficial for all of you. Thank you very much for joining. Assalamu alaikum.